Hi everybody, Mark Margulies here. So today I'm going to show you how to install a Horus FKM rubber strap on a Patek Philippe Nautilus. A few notes before I start. This strap will fit the Patek deployant clasp, so you can use all your original hardware. There's no spring bars or anything needed. Every piece of metal that we use, so basically everything except for this strap in this video, is from Patek. Also, this Nautilus is already on a leather strap from Patek. These watches also come on a metal bracelet. If your Nautilus is on a metal bracelet from Patek, you need to buy a conversion kit before you can install the strap. So again, if you have a Nautilus that's on a metal bracelet, it's not gonna go directly to the strap. You need to have a conversion kit. They're sold at Patek Philippe, or you can buy one elsewhere. But bottom line, you need that conversion kit. A few other notes, make sure that I usually recommend doing this like inside of a jewelry tray or on some kind of contained surface, just because this watch in particular has some very small pieces of hardware, and I don't want you to lose them because I can imagine they're probably pretty pricey from Patek. Again, be very careful with everything, and let's roll into it. To introduce all the tools that you're gonna need to do this, first we have our 160, the larger Horus screwdriver, which is right here. The next thing that I'm going to use is the 100 Horus screwdriver, which is a smaller tip screwdriver. And these screwdrivers that we sell come in a nice box like this with extra tips, so that you have extras. And the other thing is one of our Horus pin punch tools, and I'll show you what I mean by that after. Another thing that we don't sell, but you can always use, is some household tape. You can use Scotch tape, masking tape. Doesn't really matter, but if you want to protect the watch a bit more, I always recommend using a little bit of tape, and I'll show you in this video how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to do, we have our Nautilus here, is we are going to deattach this clasp from the strap. So how we're going to do that is take the larger screwdriver, and you'll look in here. This is quite a big screw for a watch, and you're just going to kind of put it in there and carefully turn it counterclockwise, of course. You're going to see it comes loose pretty easily. And there you go. Again, make sure that you're putting all your hardware aside. Make sure you don't lose anything. This stuff is quite pricey. Now we have the clasp deattached. And by the way, this is actually, whether it's on the Patek strap or our strap, this is how you would adjust it. So you see, you can kind of put it in whatever hole you want. The next thing we're going to do to get this out is we're going to come in here, and you're going to see there's a much smaller screw. The 160 screwdriver works for this, but if you go to put it in, you'll see it's a bit big. So for this one, I'm going to use the 100 screwdriver. Counterclockwise again, just like that. And this should just drop right out, just like that. Now, I want to note right here, the screw is very small, and I believe it's gold. You don't want to lose this. Make sure you're very careful. I'm going to put it right here where I can kind of just keep track of everything and see what I have. To take the clasp out, nothing is screwed in right now, but you see you have this bar in there. Now, the bar needs to be basically just pushed out. We have the Horus pin punch tool here. If you want, you can take some tape and just sort of put it right on the end here, just to make it like a little bit softer. Again, I'm being very particular here, and I'm now literally just going to push this out. Nice and easy. See how easily it comes out? Once you give it that little push and it comes out just like that, you can now use your fingers, and you can just simply pull it out. It comes right out, super easy. And again, put it in our little hardware section so we don't lose anything. At that point, your clasp is now completely detached, and we're gonna put that aside. The next thing I'm gonna do right here is take the strap off so we can put the Horus strap on. If you look on the front, there's no screw or anything, and the sides, you just have these bars that are one in the case, one in the strap. And if we turn the watch around here, you'll see that there's a screw holding that little metal piece into the strap right there. There's one on each side. Now again, if you are very particular what you could do is basically just take a piece of tape and you could tape right around that screw, sort of just like that. Again, this is just household Scotch tape. Now I'm going to take our 100 screwdriver, and you can see it's marked there right on the bottom. And I'm just going to go in here very carefully, and I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. Don't put too much pressure on it. Should come out pretty easily. You could use a pair of small tweezers or your fingers, and then you can just either like pop it out like that, and you're going to see it's just going to fall out. I just grabbed it with my fingers. Again, make sure you keep it safely aside. And now I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. Sometimes you can just kind of tap it right out, just like that. And we'll remove all the tape. Now you're going to notice once you get those screws out that the strap is still attached. It's held in by this bar. So you're just going to take the Horus pin punch tool, and you'll see there's two bars, one in the case, one in the strap. We're working with the one on the strap, and you're just going to push it out just like that. Put that aside, and with that, pops right out. We're going to come around to the other side, repeat the process. And now we have our Nautilus with no strap on it. So now we are going to install our Horus strap. This is FKM rubber, and the one that I chose to put on this watch is our crimson red. It's a really nice, a little bit subdued shade of red, and I think it goes really well with these very tiny red details on the dial. First thing I'm gonna do is install the side with the holes in it, and this goes at the 6 o'clock. You'll see this metal piece here has a little notch sticking out, and you'll see the strap has a hole basically for the notch. So you just stick it right in there, and it should line up real nicely. Hold that in place with your hand. Take one of the bars that we pushed out and put it right in. So once you push it all the way through, it should be completely flush. You should not see any of that metal bar sticking out. You can see it's in there on both sides, but you shouldn't see any of it sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process on the other side. So again, you shouldn't see any of the bars. Now we're going to lock it into place. So we're going to place the watch face down, and I'm going to do this right now without tape, just to give you a clearer view. But again, if you would like, you can use some tape here and just tape around there. For this, you're going to notice that we took out 4 screws. The really tiny ones here are the ones we use. And you're just going to take it with your fingers or a pair of tweezers and drop it right in that hole, just like that. Once it's in the hole, we take our 100 screwdriver and we are going to tighten it by turning it clockwise. With these screws, you don't need to go crazy. Once you feel it stop, stop. These are very little fine screws and they don't require too much. We're going to go around the other side, take our other tiny screw, and just like we just did, exact same thing, you're going to drop it right into that hole. Take our 100 screwdriver. Perfect. Now the strap is locked into the watch case. So to install the clasp, and I just want to give you a visual of how this is supposed to look, you basically want the Nautilus text right here to be facing up at the 6 o'clock. So it should read the same as the Patek Philippe on the face. You're going to notice on the back here, it's got a little thing sticking up. That goes right into one of the holes on the strap, and you can adjust that to whatever length you might need it to be. Press it in there. And at this point, what we're going to do, take the big screw, and just like we did before, drop it right in. So it's going to sit just like that. You can see the holes on the back are perfectly formed to it. I'm going to take my 160 screwdriver, and just like I just did, turn it clockwise, and now it's locked in place. This next part, you see you have this little prong thing sticking out with a hole in it. That's going to go right in the middle of the strap, right here. So you put that in, and the first thing I'm going to do is take the bar that we took out, and I'm just going to put the bar right in there. Make sure it goes through that hole, then locks into the clasp. And then with my finger, I just push it in there. And you'll see it's now in place, and you shouldn't really see any of it on either side. Just make sure it's nice and even. And there we go. The last thing we need to do here is take our final tiny screw. But you'll see there's a little hole for the screw right there. And we're going to drop that screw right into there. Take our 100 screwdriver. And once you feel it stop, just stop. And now it is fully installed. That's it. So you can now wear your Nautilus on a very nice FKM rubber strap. And you can see you have the clasp and a beautiful look for the Nautilus. So thank you for watching. That is how you take the strap off of a Patek Philippe Nautilus and put a Horus FKM rubber strap. These straps are available on our website, horusstraps.com, in several different colors. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon with more videos.